Hi there, my name's Kate from Fab Physio and I'm a women's health physiotherapist and I specialise in postnatal recovery. So here's a little 20-minute video about C-section recovery, and specifically you can start doing these sort of exercises right from day one, or at least when you feel up to it. You're going to want to rest for the first couple of weeks and make sure that those stitches in your wound is nicely protected. You want to bond with your baby and take the time to rest and heal. And if you have any pain, then please take the painkillers and rest. Lots of hydration is good for healing, and a gentle bit of movement is also encouraged. So the first point that I want to make is about your breath. Breathing is really important, and after any sort of surgery, your body goes into protection mode, especially around your abdominals. You're going to want to protect them, and your abdominals are a little bit shot after pregnancy anyway. So you'll end up breathing from up here, which means you take shallower breaths, and it means the diaphragm isn't working as well. Your diaphragm is very much connected to your abdominals and your pelvic floor. So we want everything to work in a nice synergy. So starting from here, I want you to really think about filling those lungs right down into the base of your ribs. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, bring the ribs down and let your breath go all the way out, right to the end, until you feel your abdominals have to start to tighten gently. Go again with a nice big breath, thinking about filling into your deeper ribs at the back. So you're getting this, what we call an umbrella breath, all the way around. And again, as you exhale, drop the shoulders, slot those ribs down, all the way out until your belly has to gently contract, and then we'll do one more. Nice big breath, filling the lungs deep into the ribs. Exhale, relaxing them down, emptying the lungs until you feel your pelvic floor and your abdominals start to close, and come back into relax. Good. My second point is about postures. So again, any sort of wound, scar, stitches, you're going to want to protect that. And this is the same for perineal stitches as well. So you probably will go into this slightly flexed posture, potentially walking around slightly bent forward. And that's okay for protection, but be aware of it, that you're not doing it all the time. And then we've got little baby to look after, so you're lifting and you're bending and you're feeding in these hunched postures as well. So even just sitting right now, let's just lift up a little bit. Think about elongating the back of your neck and a helium balloon pulling up your spine so that it's lifting a little bit. We're not stretching into any awkward positions just yet. Just think about your posture, and then having a little squeeze of shoulder blades and opening up through your collarbones. Release once again into your normal or comfortable position, and then let's lift up again, and that might involve a little pelvic tilt forwards, stretching up through the back and opening up through the collarbones, and release back down. Now make sure that you've got the pillows around you for back support, for elbow support, for baby support, especially if head is on one side. You're going to want those nice donut or half moon feeding pillows, okay? Really supportive, and a good chair and a footrest if need be, okay? Also, when you're lifting or picking up out of the crib, make sure that you've always got that nice lengthened spine and avoid this constant hunching, okay? Let's open up with a few little upper back stretches for point number 3. So we're going to start nice and tall and start to roll those shoulders, trying to reduce any tension that you're carrying around your neck. And then a little bit bigger if we put our hands onto our shoulders and do one at a time. So we're getting a nice bigger roll into the shoulder and starting to get the upper back involved. Same on the opposite side. And with all these exercises, I'm going to start progressing them. And if you feel like you've reached your limit and you're not quite there yet, you stop, okay? So now we're taking our arms wider and we're seeing if we can rotate round and to the other side. And you might not get very far. we're aiming to move just from the upper back, but you can't help but twist from your ribs and your obliques. Again, always breathing through the movements. If you find that you're breath holding, it means that you're potentially then putting pressure and bearing down into your scar and pelvic floor. So make sure that you continue to breathe. Bless you. And one more each side. Hands behind your head. Again, nice and long. This time we're going to curl down. So we're tilting the pelvis back, squashing the lower back down, bringing the chin down, and then a nice big inhale as you rise back up. Exhale, fold forward this time, curling the back as much as you want, and lifting up nice and tall. Open those elbows nice and wide. One more here, and open up. Now let's take it down onto our side lying. Stretching one hand out in front of you, other hand on top, bringing the knees up to 90 degrees and head relaxed. Let's open up this top arm, keeping the knees together. How far can you go round comfortably? Relax when you get there. Nice deep breath, and gently come back over. So again, we're moving more from the upper back, but you will feel it potentially tug a little bit round the edge of a scar. Take your time with it, and back in. One more this side. Drop the shoulders, relax the shoulder blades. And back round. Now gently shift your bottom. You're always using your legs and your other bigger muscles to try and lift round so that you're lying then on your back with your knees bent. Knees glued together, hands out to the side, and rocking your knees over to that same side and back again. Let's just stick with the one side. So this time our upper body is nice and still, and we're getting a rock into the lower back. Again, across our abdominals, but just go as far as you're comfortable. And keeping breathing through the movement. And relax back to the middle. Once we're in the middle here, we're going to do some nice pelvic tilts. Just squash the back and then release. Now, as you squash your back, I want you to gently engage those tummy muscles. I don't mean grip, and I don't mean bellow out or push. I mean a gentle draw in of the belly button, and you're hardening into your belly button. And have a feel if you wish. Inhale as you relax and create a nice arch underneath the back. Gentle squash down, blow out. Inhale, release. And again, you're going to feel a little bit of pull through there. Take it nice and easy. And release. And one more. And let it go. Now if you're feeling comfortable, let's roll up into a bridge. So we start to squash the back, engaging the abdominals, and push through the heels as we lift our bottom up and back down again. So we start with a half bridge, just to get those glutes involved, which are your big buttock muscles, and then back down. Press through both feet, little lift and drop. And if you're comfortable, you can go a little bit higher, but just keep it nice and relaxed. Shoulders down. And last one here. Okay, I've shifted round to the other side now to repeat the arm openers. So taking this top hand, once your legs are nice and relaxed, open up and follow it round. Relax, take a nice breath. And arms back together. And you might find that one side is a lot easier than another, and this can be for many reasons. Usually occupation and dominant side. One side has always been tighter, rather than any issues that you've had during pregnancy or afterwards. but be mindful that you're not always carrying baby on the same side. Okay, gently swivel round once again over onto your back, palms by your sides, and shifting the knees this time over off to the same side and just back to the center. Keeping the shoulder blades down if you can, and just rotating through the lower back and into the side of those obliques and stretching into the scar. So we're going to connect a little bit more with the core this time. So we've done the tilts and the bridges, but this time with a little heel slide, you're going to gently turn on those abdominals as you slide your heel away. Keep it in contact with the floor and then bring it back again. So have a feel around your midline. Now, can you harden it? Now, some people are going to have a little bit of a gap, and that is completely expected in these early days. But can we harden it? Using the breath to initiate the turning on of those deeper muscles, lifting pelvic floor as well, and then maintaining that as you slide the leg away and then bring it in and then relax. Big inhale, exhale, slide out and bring it back. And then we'll repeat on the other side. Keep the heel in contact with the ground. These are just level 1 exercises, and you can progress them and make them harder later on. One more on this side. And back in. We're going to do a hip twist this time. So we're working on a different plane of motion. We're dropping one knee out to the side and keeping the other one nice and steady. Inhale together. Exhale. Again, that gentle tightening. Dropping a knee out. Now, when I say this tightening, we're talking about 30 or 40%. Try not to grip too hard or squash the back or try and bear down or bellow out. Okay, it's a gentle engagement, using that breath and moving at the same time. So we are multitasking here, but if we can try and get this connection between the breath and the muscles and then add the movement on top, it's going to help with our overall recovery and strength so that we can move on to more complex movements. Let's go with 5 on the other side. And same with the hips, you might find that one is much more flexible than the other. Just move it as far as you're comfortable and as far as you feel you're getting that quality control, maintaining that other leg nice and steady. And one more. We're going to get the arms involved. Gently bring the ribs down as the arms go up to the ceiling. Slot those shoulder blades down. Now, as you float the arms behind you, you might feel that pull through the scar, and that's because all this fascial connective tissue is very much connected. So maintain the natural curve in your lower back. Bring the hands up to the ceiling. Again, inhale here first. Exhale, float them behind you. Keep the ribs down so that you're not flaring through your back. Inhale up again. Exhale. So again, we're turning on that gentle engagement through the abdominals and then release as we come back up. And then can we squeeze and lift pelvic floor with it and relax. 2 more here. And relax back to the middle. The 5th point, which is a very important point, is about scar massage. Now we know that massage through any sort of part of a scar, anywhere in the body, is going to help create extra blood flow to the area, get the tissue's mobility back again and increase the sensation. So because you can get a very numb scar, and if it isn't touched at all, then you can get very tight. So the first thing I would do is just reconnect with your belly again, and that's maybe in the shower or in bed at night. Just start rubbing it, okay? And that can be above the scar or on the scar once your stitches are complete and the scar is adherent, but it can still be very thick, so we want to try and get rid of that thickness as much as we can. So a gentle reconnection with nice, ideally clockwise circular motions, because that will also help with digestion. But then even a couple of inches above the scar, can we start to pull? Okay, so I'm sort of dragging the skin back and upwards, okay, and I'm not touching the scar, but an inch above, and bringing it all the way up above belly button. And you can start to feel how that's going to start to pull a little bit through the scar. And that's what I would start with, okay. Once the scar gets a little bit more tougher, or at least more adherent, then you can come on to the scar and start doing some really nice big circular motions, going as deep as you are comfortable. Do it in the shower, do it in bed at night, do it as you're sitting feeding, whatever feels good. Ideally without oil, because then you can get a little bit deeper into the different layers of tissues, okay? But you can also just massage and moisturize the top layers of skin as well. So massage is very much encouraged. The sixth point is more about some functional movements, okay? So I want to start in hands and knees, because this is the position that you're in a lot when you're changing and then lifting baby, okay? And in this position we can get a nice length through the scar, which again is going to help with strength and mobility. So in this position first, let's just start with our little cat-cow stretches to get some mobility into our lower back. And then once you're happy, come back into that nice neutral spine, okay? So we should have a little curve in our lumbar spine, and we should have the opposite into our upper back. Slot the shoulders down, and then draw belly button in off the mat as you lengthen one leg away, still in contact with the floor, and bring it in again. Exhale, switch over, and back again. So just keep alternating the legs, imagining that you've got that glass of water into your lower back, and we're not tipping or twisting. And if you're happy with that, then you can add the arm. So the opposite arm, we're just lengthening it away, again keeping it in contact with the floor. Same with the opposite side. Do one more each side. Making it slightly harder, we're going to come into more of a knee plank. So we take our hands a big step forward, and we're going to slot our hips inwards until we start feeling the abdominals there, and then bring it off again. Slot those shoulders down as you come forward. Breathe out and release again. Now for some people you might only be able to come forward a few inches, stick your bottom nice and high. For others you might be able to come into line with your shoulders and knees, but make sure that you don't then sink your back, and that's going to pull through the scar even more. So let's keep it nice aligned, abdominals are turned on, and then release off. So we're not holding it for more than a breath. Inhale off, exhale, come forward, and release. Two more. And last one. And release back. Okay, staying on our knees. The next one that's quite good for lifting baby up the floor is coming into this kneeling position, and again using our legs and our glutes. So imagine you're lifting baby up off the floor, and we're going to push up and squeeze through the glutes with a little engagement through our tummy, and release back down. Exhale, rise. Inhale, down. And I'm not pushing forward so that I'm extending. I want that nice long back in this position as well. Feel it again, have a little feel around midline. Make sure that our pelvic floor is getting lifted as well. Last one. And then release. Okay, so that's a nice little starter. Being aware of your postures, your positioning, getting a bit of mobility into the spine and a gentle connection through your tummy. There'll be another video next which will show you a little bit more harder exercises for 6 weeks and beyond. Bye for now.